Welcome everyone. Hi Kim. Hi Cindy. Hope you guys are having a good Friday afternoon. Are my levels good? You can hear me? Great. Thanks, Kim. Where are you calling in from today? Michigan. Nice. Hey, Bob. Welcome. Michigan is cold right now, right? Nice. I haven't checked the temperature here today yet. Oh, it's 48 right now, which isn't bad. I'm in Santa Fe, New Mexico. So nights are cold at this time, you know, it can get down to 10 or something like that. And then on a nice day like this, you know, we're low 50s, which is great. Sunny. Bob, you're in Toronto. Yeah. Chilly. I do tea ceremonies at my house every once in a while, and people come through Airbnb to do this thing with me. And I recently had somebody come from Toronto who was specifically taking a week vacation away from Toronto to get away from the cold. So she's an artist out there. All right, so let's get started with this. Welcome everyone, thanks for joining. So the way this works is there's a Q&A button right beneath me in the middle there. So any questions you have, go ahead and submit them. If you have something that's more of like, you just want to talk about something, talk through something, and it's less about a specific question and more about maybe a conversation, feel free to raise your hand in the chat and I can unmute your mic and we can talk about it if that's something that you're interested in. All right, so we will dive right in here. This question is from Casper. Is address needed on my customers on the checkout page? Is address needed for my customers on the checkout page, or can I somehow skip this part? I'm using Stripe as a payment provider, and they have said, quote, if MemberMouse is using their own custom checkout that they built with elements, then it would depend on their code whether they have set this as a requirement. So the answer is no, address is not required. I paused because there's a caveat here. Something that Stripe may have mentioned is there's something called address verification settings, I believe. But anyway, the acronym is AVS. So this is something that you can configure in your payment provider, which will determine the address verification requirements. By default, address, like the street address, is not required. But by default, I think zip code is. So before, I'm going to demonstrate to you how you can get your checkout form set up so that you don't have to have address on there. But you'll also want to make sure you check your AVS settings within your payment provider, in your case Stripe, to make sure that it's not requiring address, which by default it doesn't, so you should be fine. But I'm just saying that for other people who may be in different situations. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here. All right, hide some things so I can see what's going on. Okay, so I think there might be a support article specifically on this. Here we go. Hide optional fields on checkout. So all of these fields here are optional. And this is how you can hide them by setting it to type hidden instead of type input. So if I take a look at this current test site that I'm on, and I go to, first of all, make sure I'm logged out, and I go to a checkout page, you will see here that billing, it is asking for billing address. So what I'm going to do is copy this checkout page and then make the modifications to it to remove the address field so you can see how that works. Let me just make sure I'm working with the right page. So this is the default checkout page. Checkout 1. I'm just going to double check the, make sure the URL is checkout 1. Yeah, it is. Okay. So this is a page we were working with. So I'm going to go ahead and oh, right. There's no way to duplicate a page in WordPress without a specific plugin. I think, so this is another sorry, I'm just clicking things. This is another checkout page. Let me just view this to see if this one is one that we could use. Okay, so this checkout page is already set up. So I'll just go ahead and use this one. What we're looking for is the address field. So here are the billing address. So basically, I think what you're saying is that you want billing address, billing city, and billing state to be not there. Okay, so I'm going to delete all of the HTML surrounding these because if we're hiding the fields, we don't need the HTML. We do need to keep the fields there though. If we delete them, that's going to create a problem. We need them to be there, but we want them to be hidden. So I'm just going to put in type equals hidden for all of these. And then only zip code is there. And also I'll hide country too. And remove the HTML for that. And I'll move this up here with everything else so everything's grouped together. So here are the 4 fields from address that we're removing from billing. So I'll go ahead and update this. Yeah, thanks for that recommendation, Bob. Bob was saying that a good plugin he uses to duplicate a page or post is called Duplicate Post. So yes, that would be useful for me to have at this time. Okay, so now that I've updated that, sorry, I'm just having to move things around in my screen sharing software so it's not hiding the things I want to click on. So now let me copy this link and I'm going to add this to my purchase page just so if we need to do this a couple times, that I don't have to keep manually doing it. So I have a page called Purchase where I have some links on it. And I'll just call this test checkout page and create a link. Good enough. Okay, so now if I open this in an incognito window and click to test on the checkout page, we see that none of the address fields are there that I removed. And if I did this right, if I submit order, everything should just work. Which it did. So yay for me, I did something. I accomplished something today. Okay. So I was saying earlier that you need to make sure these fields are here but hidden. So if I remove these and save this page, if my statement is accurate, then if we attempt to go back to this page, make sure I'm logged out, go back to this page and make a purchase, it's going to say, please enter your billing address. And it's saying this because the fields are actually deleted and not on the form itself, so that the system doesn't know what you're wanting it to do because they're not present. So they actually have to be hidden and not just removed. Okay. So I'll undo that and save this page. And for my future self, I will put a more accurate label because I will definitely not remember what that page is for later on. Okay, so next question. This is from Bob. And something, oh, there was an email sent in about this. Something doesn't look right on my WordPress window. Bob, is this you, the one that's on the call right now, or is this a different Bob? You're asking about, or this Bob is asking, so, saying something doesn't look right on my WordPress window. Okay. So let me stop my screen for a second because there's an email apparently where the screenshot is. Let me get that. Okay. So Bob, are you referring to this right here? Okay, so this is the preview settings bar. The reason that it's looking like this is most likely because of the WordPress theme you have installed. It looks like the WordPress theme you have installed is styling these drop downs as part of the preview settings bar that's making them higher than the default style for drop downs, which is then basically breaking the design. So that's what's going on there. Functionally, this isn't going to have any impact on how the preview settings bar works, but that's why it looks like that. You don't need it. Okay, so I'll show you, oops. Let me share a screen again. I'll show you how you can hide that. So the whole purpose of the preview settings bar is to allow you to view the site as different members as you're designing it. However, it's it's not essential, because what you can do to test is just like what I was just doing. You can check out, you can open up, and this is usually how I do it if I'm building something. I'll just open up a new window. And if I want to test something, I'll say, okay, I'm going to buy the course that I just built something for. I'll go through the checkout process, test it, and then I can click through all the pages and see exactly what I need to do. The previous settings bar is good for certain situations, but I prefer doing testing like this because every time I'm going through it like a customer, and so I'm hitting the checkout page, I'm going through the whole process and experience they're doing. So if there's any kinks in the chain of what they're going through, I will discover it doing this way. So to hide the preview settings bar, if you don't want it, you go to General Settings, Other Settings, and down here, Preview Settings Bar Options, just uncheck that and save. And then now when we go back to visit the site, it won't show up. So it won't show up and your life will be measurably better, and all good things will happen for you. So it's a good button to know about, good setting to know about. Okay. So next question. Wow, this is long. Okay, there's bullet points in this question. There's 6 bullet points in this question. Okay, so let's see what we can do with this. This is from David. I'm trying to convince my IT board to switch CRM to switch our current CRM to MemberMouse. So I have many questions. We would like to hold credit card details for members on the system for members to charge recurringly. How are these credit cards kept safe, and what security measures will we need to put in place to make sure these are correctly stored? You don't want to do that. Storing credit cards on your system it's a whole ordeal. The PCI compliance exposure you get from storing credit cards is going to cost you a fortune. So you don't want to do that. But what I hear essentially what you're saying is you want to have the ability to charge your customers recurring billing and have the credit card details be safe and secure with minimal exposure and cost to your company. So yes, you can do this with MemberMouse. I suggest using Stripe as your payment provider. So when MemberMouse is integrated with Stripe, you simply get certain private keys from Stripe, plug them into MemberMouse on the integration page, the payment integration page. And then now you're connected to Stripe. And when anybody makes a purchase, all that credit card detail will be passed securely to Stripe. And our Stripe integration actually gives you the lowest level of PCI compliance exposure that you can have, because we're integrated with certain aspects of Stripe that make it so that the credit card details, the sensitive customer information, never touches your server. It's all encrypted on the client side and then passed securely to Stripe. And then what MemberMouse gets back from that transaction is a token that we then store in the database. And that token is what we use then to bill future billings with Stripe, okay? So it's a completely secure process. Everything's safe, managed, and all that. So that's what you want to do, and that's what MemberMouse can provide. The next part of the question, can we manually add cash payments into MemberMouse? So if a member calls via telephone and pays by a credit card, can we manually add this to the profile? So if somebody calls by phone, you can actually use MemberMouse as a call center portal to bill them. So let me share my screen again. So the short answer about manually adding cash payments is you can't do that. But what you can do is say I'm on my manage members page, say Eric calls in because everybody in my database is named Eric. So say this particular Eric calls in, I'll just click into their account and they're saying, hey, like I'd like to purchase blah, blah, blah. So you go to access rights and you say, okay, let me go down to find that bundle that you're looking to purchase. And let's say they want to purchase this all videos course. I click apply bundle and then I select the product to charge them for, because multiple products can be associated with bundles to give you pricing flexibility. So let's just say it's this one, so it'll show me the price. And then if, again, you're integrated with Stripe, you have the option to build a card on file. So I can actually just click this button, build card on file. And now that bundle has been added to their account. As we can see here, it's been added. Now, say that we didn't have their card on file. What you can do is, let's say they want the audio course. Again, we click, oh, that's a free bundle. Secrets of the Pros. Okay, so let's say they want to buy this. This is $100 and we don't have their credit card information. So all I do is click this button, enter customer billing information. And now on this page, I have test data filled out because I have this system set up in test mode, but in a production system, these fields would be empty. You just take their credit card information over the phone, enter it in, whatever it is, submit the order. And now the order is placed successfully and now they have the bundle on their account. So you have a lot of flexibility if somebody calls in over the phone, entering them into the system this way. And this is better too, to do it this way, because now all the records are in the activity log, right? So the purchase is made, any automated emails that are configured to be sent through the system will be sent through the system, and a record of that email will be kept, and the bundle will automatically be added to the account. So dealing with call center operations is really easy to do in MemberMouse. And of course, you have a notes field on the general tab if you need to make any notes. You know, you could write a date in here on February 27th and customer called in and made a purchase, something like that. Okay, where's the thing? Okay, here we go. Automate and generate emails to members. Is this possible? Yes, this is possible. So we have a lot of great mechanisms for doing this. The first thing is, if people are just signing up for your standard membership levels or bundles, you can easily create welcome emails that get sent out to these members. So for example, if I go to my product settings and I go to membership levels and I click to edit any one of these, you'll see there's a welcome email section. And here I can author a welcome email, including merge vars or smart tags that input dynamic data. For example, we can address them by first name. We can include their username and password. There's a whole list of smart tags that can be used in these emails, which you can get by hovering over this link. But for the most part, you're going to be using the member data smart tag, because this provides data. It allows you to put data about the member into the email. Commonly, you would use their email address, their name, their physical address, etc., stuff like this. So you can easily draft welcome emails this way. You can specify which email of the people in your company you want it to come from. And we have the ability to add additional employees. So you can easily add additional employees to your company. And any of these employees can be used as the from email address on any of the emails sent by MemberMouse. So this is one way to create a welcome email for people signing up for a membership level. Now, under developer tools, we have something called push notifications. And here you have immensely more flexibility in terms of creating automated emails. So if I click create push notification, you'll see that essentially what push notifications do is allows you to specify for a particular event occurring an action that should be taken. So here are all the events you can listen to. A member being added, member account being updated, a bundle being added, a payment being received, a rebill payment being received, etc. All of these different things. So for all of these different events, you can trigger an email being sent to the customer. So say, for example, we want to send a payment receipt anytime a purchase is made. I just specify when a payment is received, I want to perform an action, in this case, send an email. There are these other options here, which are a little bit more advanced, but not really advanced, but I'm not going to go into them now. You're going to send an email and you specify who you want to send it to, and we're going to say the current member, because you could also send an email to somebody on your team if something's being purchased that requires somebody internally to take some action based on that. You can also send an internal team member a message based on an event. But we're just going to do current member. And for order receipts specifically, we already have a pre-existing template. You can click here to fill in that template. And it already inserts stuff related to the order. So now we're including order related information in this email. First name, order ID, product name that was purchased, the subtotal, shipping amount, order total, billing address, shipping address, et cetera, et cetera. And then you know, if you don't have shippable products, you would just modify that email template to be exactly the way you want it to. But the starting point gives you an easy place to begin from and includes the smart tags that you can use in relation to an order. So there's tons of other events you could do this for. If somebody purchases a bundle, you can specify an email that gets sent out for all bundles that are purchased, or you can do it a bundle by bundle basis if you want to be a lot more specific about emails that people receive when they purchase something. So with regards to automated emails, you have extreme level of flexibility. Plus, anytime an email is sent out by MemberMouse, as I demonstrated just recently, all of it is tracked in the activity log. So even though it's sent out in an automated way, it tracks it in the activity log, and you will have a record of that email so that you can see it for all of your members. Okay, so that's that question. Next question, can we generate a letter for members to be put into a membership pack and print this? Is there an option for templates like this? Notice how I strategically drink my water while I'm thinking. So you may not even notice that I am thinking, except if I explain it, then that kind of ruins it. Okay. Can we generate a letter for members to be put into a membership pack and print this? Is there an option for templates like this? The answer is yes. So what I would say would be the best thing to do here is to use coupons. So what you could do is say that, let me just make sure the coupon thing is on it. Okay, so you see on the checkout page, there's a place where you could put coupons in. So, and this is our basics bundle monthly product. Okay, so let me go find this in my products. Actually, sorry, I don't need to do that. If we go to coupons, so let's say the basics bundle monthly product, I have a lot of products in the system. Actually, I'm going to do this a different way. Let's just say I'm going to go to products. Let's say Options Academy. So this is 14-day free trial with $69.96 every month. So let's say that we want to discount the monthly fee by 20%. Let's make it 40%. In this letter that you're going to send out, say that the offer is, hey, get this thing now for 40% off, whatever. Okay, so this is the Options Academy product. So if I on my coupons, if I create a coupon, mailing discount, February mailing, so maybe we do it multiple times a year or something, so keep track. So let's say the code is Feb 2020 discount. And the discount is 40% off. Apply discount to all charges. Now the start date, and now here's where we can add restrictions to this situation. So we only want this to apply to the Options Academy product, which is this one, I believe. Yes, the Options Academy product. And we can limit the quantity. So we can say, oh, this is only available for the first 50 people. We can also specify an end date. This offer is only available until June 1st, 2020. Whatever. You don't have to put in these restrictions, but I'm just showing you that you do have the option to do it. So I'll go ahead and save that. Now, if I go ahead and copy that coupon code, and I also go ahead and copy this purchase link. And what you would probably do is in your mailing, you would provide a very specific URL on your site, something that says, you know, yoursite.com/special offer. And that would be the landing page that people could easily go to from the mailing. And you would just specify, you could provide the code on the mailing, or you could provide the code on the landing page for the special offer, wherever you want to do it. But someplace you'll give them the coupon code and you'll say, this is how you get your discount. But now I'm on the checkout page, and I will enter in the coupon code here, apply, and go ahead and submit that order. And now if we go to Manage Members and go to Options Academy and go to Subscriptions, we'll see that the billing description is saying that I'm going to be billed $41.98 every month, which is 40% off from the original price. I wasn't billed anything today because there's a free trial on it. Okay, but that's how you do it. You would use coupons, and that would work perfectly well with your mailings. Next thing, accepting donations with my membership. Is there a way we can allow members to add a donation at to their checkout? There's no way that with MemberMouse you can allow people to custom type in an amount that they want to donate. Usually what people do for this is just have a PayPal donate button and allow people to donate separately. Or what you could do is, if you really wanted it to be on your checkout page, there is a workaround you could do to do it. It would basically mean that you would have to identify like $5 donation, $10 donation, $20 donation. It wouldn't be the most elegant solution from the back end look and feel, you know, from how many products you'd have to create and stuff like that. But if it was essential to your business purpose, there is a way that you could do it. And yeah, I would just suggest you ask our support team about that, and they could give you instructions. Can you post a note to a member profile? Yes, you can. I demonstrated that earlier. You can just go within member details. You can go to the notes page and type in anything in this notes field. You can also create custom fields on accounts. So if you want to have specific information, specific things you track in relation to member that's data oriented, like how did they hear about you, or what gender they are, what age, stuff like this. You can create custom fields easily to track that data. And the reason you might want to do that is because from the Manage Members screen, you can actually search. You can actually search based on custom field. So if you want to, if it's something that you want to track that you would normally want to search on, using custom fields is a good way to do that. Follow-up question from the peanut gallery here. can you post a note on a member's profile that the member can see? Yeah, with custom fields, you can do that. So yeah, so another benefit of using custom fields, yeah, because this note field is purely for internal purposes only. The customer can't see this. But if you want to have a custom field that somebody can see, then what you can do is you would just go to checkout settings, create custom field, and then I'll just, call this public notes. You can opt to have this be editable by the customer on their My Account page or not. Let's just say in this case, I don't want them to be able to edit it, but I do want them to be able to see it somewhere. And I'll make this a long text field because, that way we can put as much stuff in it as we want. And now that we've created this field, then I'm going to look up in the documentation member data smart tag. And then we can see so member data smart tag is generally used to display member data. So as part of that, you can display all different kinds of data, but we can also display custom field data related to the member. So what I want to do is this. I want to display custom field 8, right? Because if I hover over this, the ID is 8. I can also see the ID by clicking on the form smart tag and seeing the ID is 8. Okay, now if I do this, public note, now it should work. Or it's going to display nothing right now because we're not logged in. But yeah, that's correct. Okay, so now if I make a purchase, submit that order. So now an account has been created and I'm logged in, but it's still not going to show anything because there isn't anything in that public note field. So if I go to my manage member screen and I go to that new member and go to custom fields and I enter something into the public note field, this is a public note and update. Now if I go back to this screen and refresh, I should see it. Ah, it's not set. Did I use the right thing? Hold on, I'm gonna put this on hold for a second and see what other questions there are. I think this is the last one, but is there an audit log to check which users has edited or made changes to a member profile? There is an audit log for members, but so you can see in the activity log, like everything that's gone on a member account, which pages they've accessed, when they've logged in, any billing related events that were triggered, any email events that were triggered, et cetera. So you can see all that, but you can't, there's no log of, say, Joe on the internal team made a change to account. There's no logging for that. Okay, so anybody who wants to jump off, feel free. This was the last question, so we're pretty much done, but I want to see what mistake I'm making because this should work. Public note is ID 8. That's correct. And if I go to my pages and I go to my purchases, purchase page. Oh, did I not change the ID? Is that what I did? Duh. Oh my gosh. Okay, purchase. Yes, I didn't change the ID. So it's saying not set because it's reading the wrong custom field data. The ID for the public note field is 8, not 4. So now that I've changed that and I refresh, okay, there we go, now it works. This is a public note. So, sorry for the turbulence on that one, but maybe there was something learned in the fact that I messed it up, whatever. But that's how everything works. So hopefully that answers your questions. So that's everything that we have for now. So yeah, that's it. So I hope everyone has a good weekend, and we will see you next time. Thanks a lot.